Hi, this is Oh Hi Mark, and welcome to the first YouTube edition of Terrible Movies with Wonderful People. We've been doing this for over a year now on Twitch, and I thought it would be cool to edit them down and post them to YouTube. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and follow. This week, we watched Grizzly II on Amazon Prime, and then we talked about it con panel style. I'm hosting Carol the Cat, the Cinemistress at GeekRadioDaily.com, ding, as we talk about the film. I do want to warn you, spoilers ahead. If you want, go ahead and watch it on Amazon Prime first, then come back. We'll still be here. And a little bit about Grizzly 2 before we get started. The original Grizzly, which we already did on this stream, was a blatant homage to Jaws. The second one was even more blatant, even taking the revenge from its title. The first film had a budget of $750,000, and it earned $39 million at the box office in 1976. That would make it a fairly successful movie, though not at all a good one. Grizzly II Revenge, which came out in 2020, is the direct-to-video sequel I don't think anybody actually asked for. It has a short 74-minute runtime, like an old-time double feature, and with the likes of John Rhys Davies, Laura Dern, George Clooney, and Charlie Sheen, it does have more star power than the original. Well, kind of, even though Laura Dern, George Clooney, and Charlie Sheen have top billing, they're pretty much on the screen for about 6 minutes. This movie took nearly 40 years to get to market. They actually shot it in 1983. It was released by somebody on YouTube. It was not the full cut that we have now. It was a pre-release cut. Somebody posted on YouTube, and it stayed there for a few years. But finally, in 2020, it was finished and distributed to the con circuit and to video on demand and home movie. It was directed by Andre Jacques. It was produced by Suzanne Nagy, and she's the one who finally got it to market. It has an 8% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Folks, we just watched Grizzly 2.
Why?
I don't know why we watched it. We're standing here asking ourselves, what the fuck? But it was there. It was the mountain that we had to climb. So
we saw the first one. We had to watch the second one.
Nope. I'm Ohio Mark. This is Carol the Cat, and we are going to talk about this movie. So, what's your overall impression of this movie?
What the fuck?
Yes, I believe.
Okay, I'm gonna say there's some big names in this film, and every time one of them showed up, I was like, "What are they doing here?" What? I know John Rhys Davies makes some crap movies. He really does, but this one, he is cringingly embarrassing in this film.
Yes. Yep. So Deborah Foreman had just come off of starring in a really well-received movie, Valley Girl, in 1983, to film this. Jonathan Rhys Davies. When did the original Indiana Jones come out?
80.
So Jonathan Rhys Davies was already a known to mainstream actor. Obviously, he was a stage and English TV actor before he came over here. But Louise Fletcher won a freaking Oscar.
She had an Oscar. She had an Oscar for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yep, that is Nurse Ratched, ladies and gentlemen. Nurse Ratched. Jack Starrett was in everything. He was in freaking Blazing Saddles, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And Timothy Spall is a classically trained Shakespearean actor.
I also saw Ian McNeice in there for like half a second as a roadie or something.
Yep.
Carrying a fire extinguisher, and he's also a classically trained English actor.
Yes.
What the hell are they doing in this film?
I have no idea what they're doing in this film. No idea. All right, so I think that both of us can say that our overall impression of this film is a laughing emoji with a speech bubble coming out of it saying WTF.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up.
It's a 76-minute movie that is 70 minutes of padding.
Yes.
You have concert padding. You have nature footage padding.
You have rehearsals to the concert padding.
Yeah, where you see the same exact songs with the same exact outfits.
They drove the Jeep from point A to point B. You get at most one Jeep passes on the road shot. They did 2.
Mm-hmm.
We had way too much of the helicopter, but he was the only returning character, so I'm glad we got to see him.
True. Bear Cam made a brief moment.
Yep, bear cam. A couple
bear
of bear
cam.
cams. Yeah. Wow. All right, Carol. Here's the burning question. Remote control test.
Am I drinking? No, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping on this. There are better funny movies.
You've just played the fire starter drinking game, and now
just played the fire. Okay, if I finish playing the fire starter drinking game, I might do this as a double feature.
All right. Work for me. This completely fails the remote control test. I am clicking onto infomercials. This was in our list of movies. We have the bad, but it's fun. We have the good, but it didn't get any traction, and then we have the bad, and this is bad.
This is bad.
Yep. Loveman says no way in hell. Shay Radman says I was hoping the climax would provide me with a partial pass on the RCT.
When is the purpose of the concert if the bear isn't going to go in and wreak havoc?
I don't know.
He needed to just clear a path through all of those kids and just start killing people.
Yes, we need to take a break for a second, and we need to figure out how did the bear light the fireworks?
No.
The opening scene with Clooney, Dern, and Sheen was so promising. I mean, it was very, 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 very cliche, very tropey, but still, it could have been okay. And Laura Dern in her bra and panties does not happen every day. A shirtless George Clooney with muscles doesn't happen every day either.
Charlie Sheen, and this was 1983?
Yeah.
Hadn't he already done The Outsiders?
I think he'd done The Outsiders. Hold on. Oh. But he was definitely not the star of The Outsiders.
Clooney was probably still Facts of Life at that point. But dang, there's...
Facts of Life, Clooney hadn't even done yet. That was 85.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe The Outsiders was later than this.
No, The Outsiders came out after this movie was filmed.
Okay.
It came out in, about the same time this movie was filmed, actually. It came out in March of 83, and this movie was filmed in spring of 83.
Okay.
So
they hadn't made names yet.
Yeah, they had not made names yet. He most definitely signed on to this film before anybody had either put two and two together and knew that he was Martin Sheen's kid, or that he was going to be a big star after being in the.
This was probably Let's Go After, because all three of these guys have famous relatives.
Yes.
So, Laura Dern's Bruce Dern's kid.
Yep. And,
and George Clooney is Rosemary Clooney's nephew.
Nephew, and didn't he have one other famous relative?
His father was a newsman. So, I'm sure they probably went after them thinking we can get the kids real cheap.
Yep. And then kill them off in the first, I think all told they had like 6 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, the question remains.
And then recut the film so that they're the stars.
Yep. How the fuck did that bear light those fireworks?
I don't know. He stole a lighter and a motorcycle from the poachers. That's how he got to the concert so quickly.
And the that cave must have a secret bat cave entrance. Was this the original Batman movie that George Clooney was in?
He was like teleporting into the cave. Well, the bear was teleporting all over the freaking place. And was it the same bear? You had Bouchard killing a different bear.
Yep.
And what's her face getting all blubbery about it? It's like, but the bear was chasing you, honey. What do you?
Yep. Bouchard totally Matthew McConaughey'd that bear.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't seen Rain of Fire, excuse me, there's one point in the movie in which Matthew McConaughey jumps from a helicopter, I believe, with an axe and something else, and attacks the dragon. Now spoiler alert, he does not live through the movie.
No.
But I believe that
Bouchard?
Bouchard was impaled. They didn't show him slump, so I don't know. It was going through the right side of his chest, so he had a chance. So let's talk about tropes. And the movie just started with all the tropes. The annoying blonde girl is nothing but eye candy. They can't keep their hands off of each other. No doesn't mean no. She wore heels into the forest. The people start to have sex and they get killed. There's the third wheel that they're just going to make out in front of, and all that kind of stuff. So there's that. Did I miss anything in the opening scene, trope-wise?
No.
Sex equals death. Yep. Then we get to the movie proper, because all that scene did was set up the first 4 kills, I guess. Those 3 plus the original poacher. And all
Did
hunters
they ever find his body?
What's that?
Did they ever? Yeah, they found his body.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually the Rangers who found the buddy, because the other poacher just left him
That's
there.
right, because he was the brother of the one guy, and then he got over that death real quickly.
Yes. Anyway, all hunters are Bambi killers. They have to put the idiots in charge, or else you don't have a movie. Scientist values animals over humans. The scientists run the operation. No. The super tracker / best in the world has given up his trade and has to be convinced to do it just one more time. The super whatever who does it one more time dies in the end, we think.
Yep.
We had a very heinous example of I've fallen and I can't get up, because that Jeep was not on top of them. All they did was come over there and give them a hand up.
Yeah.
And then we ended with what a curiously sized explosion.
Yes.
So
that no one in the audience of the concert seemed to notice.
Yes. Oh, yeah, and if there's music, you can't hear anything that's going on around you.
Right.
It's the big extrapolation of the I have headphones on, I can't hear the killer behind me. Arena version. Wow. Did I miss anything? Guys, what tropes did I see? All these characters were played better in Jaws 1. All these characters were played better in Grizzly 1.
Yeah.
And in Jaws 3.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's saying a lot.
Yep. All right. So I think that handles the tropes. And remember, guys, tropes are not always bad. Tropes are shorthand, but they can be unoriginal, and almost every trope in this movie is unoriginal.
Yeah.
So I would give them good, bad, or ugly on the tropes. I'd give them ugly. This was pretty bad.
Yeah, and what was Louise Fletcher? Was she just? Did she manage the forest?
I think she was a high up Forestry Service director who wanted to move back to Washington, D.C. and work in the Senate. That's what I got from the little bit of the one thing this movie did not do is spend a lot of time with exposition.
No.
There was definitely no expositional characters in this movie.
No.
One thumbs up for that.
Her character was just so, it was so just black and white. It was,
yeah.
I mean, it's obviously the mayor from Jaws.
Yes.
You know, we got to keep the beach open. We got to keep the concert going. But this character didn't make any sense whatsoever, because she wants to hold this huge concert, but she doesn't want any sort of security.
All right.
Which just doesn't make any sense.
Best scene and worst scene.
God.
Give you both, Carol.
Best scene is probably just the nature photography, because it was beautiful.
Oh, it was, but also it seemed very contemporary and not
from
1983.
That's obviously, I don't know where they bought that footage. I'm doubting they shot it.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was all very pretty.
Worst scene?
Oh God, worst scene. I'm gonna say anything with the poachers in it, because they were just so cliche. Constantly drunk, very loud, driving noisy, smoke-filled motorcycles everywhere. And I seriously don't know what happened at the end of their plot line, other than I just hilariously laughed because that guy just shot himself into the pit.
Yep. Now for me, my best scene was the opening scene. I actually dug that. That had promise.
The fake blood.
Yeah,
okay. I'm talking
no,
about
not
okay,
the I'm
not the
sorry, the
bear
opening
kill.
scene
Yeah,
with Clooney and Dern and
yeah.
Sheen. That had a little bit of promise. No, the opening kill was terrible. That was
Oh,
nearly
that
my
was
worst scene.
terrible.
It would have been the worst scene if we didn't have that ending with the
That
bear
ending.
crash through the scenery somewhat, and Nurse Ratched knows that it was all real and can't tell anybody.
But I
They
don't think she had any exposition. Can I just say, I don't know how old she was playing that character.
19.
She was acting like she was 12.
Yes. Although I
That
think she
it was
doinked the lead
really
singer.
weird.
I think she doinked the lead singer of the last act.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. We didn't get that scene.
No.
But she was acting like she was far younger than her character actually was.
Yes. Best scene for Love Man was the poachers getting killed. The worst scene was whatever the ending was. All right.
We still don't know what the ending is. It's a mystery.
Best and worst character.
Okay, my worst character is the scientist.
Oh, that's mine too.
She was just such. I want to say Bouchard because that's such a cliche character.
Yep.
But the scientist chick, the way she overacted, and I've seen that actress in other things, and she's not that bad. Here, she just the whole crying over the bears and bears are better than people. It just annoyed me. Best character, oh God. I'm gonna go with the bear.
Okay.
Because at least it had motivation. Something few characters in this film had any sort of motivation. And I'm talking about the live bear, not that horrible puppet thing they had at the end.
Yes.
I don't know what the hell that was.
Wait. She was on Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
Huh. She was on
She
Scanners.
wasn't the mom.
She was in Scanners, too.
That's where I know her from.
Two.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Noble House, Death Wish 3. She was in the Foul Play TV series, if you saw that, from 81. Her credits go all the way back to 73. I think she was born in 60. So
she must have been a child actor.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So for me, worst character, most definitely the scientist. She was,
and she
just
doesn't
a
help
walking
at
trope.
all.
Does not help at all. She is the only person to successfully run away from any bear in this movie, but it happened to not be the bear.
Yeah. Just some random bear that showed up.
Some random bear.
Just to get shot.
Just so she could have her crying scene, her Oscar moment.
You murderous bastard.
Yep. For me, though, I actually did kind of like Bouchard. He talked about himself in the third person. He carried a tree around. He painted his face up at night. You couldn't quite tell if he was French Canadian or some sort of native or both.
I don't know.
He had absolutely no exposition, but you knew he was good at his job. And he grabbed a tomahawk and went after a 20-foot grizzly bear.
I have to say, it was a terrible character, but John Rhys Davis made it watchable.
Yeah, he was actually trying. Love Man best character was the bear for killing the annoying characters, and Chrissy was the worst. Chrissy was there was nothing to her. I'm med, yeah. Chrissy. She was developed better in Star Trek 4.
She was in Star Trek 4?
No, I think you're thinking of not Chrissy is not the unless I'm wrong.
Which she's
no,
not,
Samantha is the doctor.
Yeah.
So the analogous character to Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home was Samantha, not Chrissy. Chrissy was the daughter who basically all she did was doink that guy and look cute. Moving on here. What worked in this movie?
God, nothing. The first scene. I will say the first scene. The first scene with the three known people. That worked.
I thought the looking up the tree and finding the guy with his guts ripped out about 25 feet up was that was
good.
a single effective scene.
Mhm.
I'm struggling here. I think that's it.
That's it.
That's
That's
all that
it.
worked for me. The bear cam did not work for me, and
No, you had bear cam in the first film, and it was done. It was done poorly, but it
Yeah.
wasn't done this badly.
yeah, and the helicopter's role was just seriously not well written either. I thought they did the helicopter a big disservice.
I'm sure he asked for more money, so
Yeah, if you guys don't understand, in Grizzly 1, we actually watched the helicopter from a dot fly
It's a long
all
scene.
the way in, one long uncut scene, land, sit there for a while, finally disgorge its inhabitants, then get up and fly away before we got a word of dialogue from anybody who was on the helicopter.
yeah.
They filmed the helicopter because they had a damn helicopter. He had more screen time than Charlie Sheen did in this movie.
Yep.
All right. What doesn't work in this movie?
The pacing, the plot,
Yep.
any characterization, and good lord, the ending.
To edit a movie this long after it was shot and have no ability to do reshoots is
you're kind of
crippling.
screwed.
They were screwed from here to there. I have no idea what the ending was supposed to be. I can't imagine that that's what they had in mind.
No.
Yep. The killings did not really work, especially the killing of the ranger. The ranger gets into the cave, and then the bear's in the cave. The bear chased him to the cave. You have bear cam coming up to him. You can't have bear cam and have it not be the bear.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
Was
can't
chasing him
fudge
that
it.
way.
You can't do the Jaws. What is it? Jaws: The Revenge,
Yeah.
or one of the Jaws movies fakes it,
Yes.
and it's like you can't have shark cam if it's not actually the shark.
Yep. But anyway, and then the bear's in the cave. The deaths did not really work that well.
And they found that guy awful quick. He was in a cave.
He was in a damn cave. They put a bear in a body bag. That was weird.
That was weird. Yeah, I was like, okay, is this? I thought they had found like the kids or something, but that was before the kids. I'm like, did they actually put that little bear cub in a body bag?
They did, because they were talking about taking his gallbladder. All
and
right.
would you go for little bears for the gallbladder? Wouldn't you go for a bigger bear?
I don't know.
I don't know. That whole, it made no sense anyway, because the bear killed the first poacher. So who? I don't think the movie knew.
Yeah, who took the bear's gallbladder?
Yeah.
Maybe the guy who went and found the person, even though he was completely in shock from the blood and guts. I don't know.
And you just walloped a park ranger with a branch. You're not going to get away with it. He knows who you are.
Yes. Walloped him with a branch. A branch. Although that is not good for you. Getting hit in the head like that's not good for you.
No.
Yes. Samantha's character. No. I followed you after I figured out who you were talking about. The doctor type was developed way better in Star Trek: A Voyage Home. But Star Trek: A Voyage Home is a spectacular movie. That really, really was a great movie. So comparing one of the best Star Trek movies ever made to this is going to come up with some pretty bad comparisons.
Plus, I mean, I can see where you would think humpback whales are better than people. I can see where you'd think grizzlies are better than people. But if you have a situation where the bear is actively killing people, there's not much you can do.
Yep. Yeah. So,
and a scientist would know that.
All three of us agree that the scientist was the worst character, I believe.
She's just terrible.
She was absolutely terrible. Not well done at all. Is there any way we could watch Star Trek 4 on here? There's no way
I think Paramount's got that one. It's not on Prime.
Yeah, it was on Prime. I actually showed it on a Thursday night when I was doing the sci-fi series. But no, when Paramount Plus went, they did suck them all back in. But no,
Yep.
I was wondering if I could justify doing it, and I don't think I can. That's just too good of a
No.
movie.
Oh, on terrible movies, no.
No.
I mean, you could get away with motion picture.
I could. I could also get away with
I would disagree
uh
because I love that film.
although it does have one of the worst special effects ever when the
That's fine.
shuttlecraft is flying in and you see the matte painted people. That was just horrible. And for the time period, the rest of the effects were really good.
Really
and they're
good.
all practical.
Yeah.
Even the visual effects are done with overlays. None of them are computer generated. Anyway, we digress because there's not much to talk about with this film. All right, we are to the last and final question because those mean something different in my world. Last and final. Could it be saved?
No.
I made her
No.
laugh just by asking.
They were screwed because it sat for too long.
Yep.
When you can't do reshoots, you can't. It's very difficult to release a movie when you can't do reshoots.
All right, so couldn't be saved. So let's talk about that for a minute. Why do you think she worked so hard to release this movie? Suzanne Nagy.
When did she release this?
In 2000.
Okay.
I'm sorry, in 2020. In 2020.
In 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the reason why is because Riff Tracks did Grizzly.
Ah.
And Grizzly suddenly had traction. And she probably realized this is the same reason that Manos: The Hands of Fate got a sequel. It's not because anybody wanted it. It's because Riff Tracks and Mystery Science Theater 3000 found the film and a bunch of people suddenly saw it for the first time.
Yep. Now, J. Radmus, I'm actually going to push back on a little bit of what you said there. I don't think that this film, as released, is a realization of anybody's vision of the final script.
No.
I think there were too many scenes that were unusable that would have, in a normal film, been reshot. They would have reworked and redone things and that sort of thing. They had to work with what they had because all of the people were 37 years older than they were. And I'm not even sure all of them are still alive. But so I think in this particular case, we have no idea what the scripted ending was. I don't think we have any idea what the was supposed to happen at the concert. I think that was just completely obliterated by 37 years and that. I do,
and
I'm
pretty sure they probably had scenes that were filmed.
Yeah.
But nobody could find them, or they got lost, or they, got damaged or something.
Yep. But that's actually a good theory I hadn't thought of, is that Riff Tracks did Grizzly. Grizzly got some traction, and then they wanted to capitalize.
Mm-hmm.
But wow. Wow. This has been Terrible Movies with Wonderful People. I am Oh Hi Mark, and you can find me at ohhimarkonline.com. I just released another blog entry today, so check it out. I talk about familiar properties within fandom and how they have helped me sort of reboot and gain momentum when things have been a little overwhelming. So I talk about rewatching comedy specials, or rewatching Star Trek, or rereading The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, that sort of thing. So I released that. It was a little bit more personal than I meant that blog entry to be, but, whatever. I'm an open book. You can also find me on Facebook as o.hi.mark.76. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and all of that as well. All the links are down there. I did just tape an episode of Guardians of the Geekery with Gray Cat and Joey. I don't know when that's going to come out, but as soon as that's out, I'll let everybody know. And then in 2.5 weeks, I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina with Gray Cat for Con Carolinas. I'm a guest at Con Carolinas, and I have badge ribbons.
Yay!
I have ones that say "Resistance is not futile," because Oh Hi Mark spells Ohm. I use the omega as my symbol, and that's going to go a few more places now. But if you don't know, omega is also the electrical symbol for resistance. So I call my group in in chat anyway the resistance, and then I have pink ribbons that say wonderful person. So Carol will definitely be wearing one of these because she is a wonderful person.
Oh, thank you.
You can find Carol at geekradiodaily.com,
Ding.
where she just released another review where she did Firestarter 2022. It is an excellent review of what is probably not an excellent movie. You can also find her at Guardians of the Geekery, as well as at purplehairedpixie.com and Paprika Reviews. So why don't you tell us about Paprika Reviews a bit?
For Paprika Reviews, I do refried scenes with a friend of mine where we watch original movies and the remakes. I may have to throw Firestarter on there because I realize it's not on our list. But yeah, we watch the original movies, remakes, and then we determine which one is better. We are currently behind because life got a hold of both of us at the wrong time. But our next episode is supposed to be a double feature of Freaky Friday and The Parent Trap.
Oh, nice. That's going to be fun. All right. And you'll also be at Con Carolinas as a guest?
I will also be at Con Carolinas. I am a guest. I'm not staying at the hotel, but I will be there.
Because you live there.
During the day.
I'll be down there Thursday. You're going to be at Con Carolinas. Stop by and see me. Ask me for a badge ribbon. Ask me for two. I love talking to people. I just got my schedule today, but I haven't looked at it. They sent it in email, so I'll let everybody know what our panels are going to be. But this should be fun. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.